NCAM, the National Consortium of Aviation Mobility, was created by Congress to research the viability of the Small Aircraft Transportation System, SATS. NCAM made good on the deliverables it promised and produced one of the most exciting and innovative live demonstrations and exhibitions that the general aviation industry has ever seen, the Danville demonstration. NCAM has a plan to carry on the next phase of SATS and the implementation of the technologies developed.
The National Consortium for Aviation Mobility is an organization dedicated to furthering business opportunities for industries involved in the design and manufacturing of aircraft and related industries that contributes to general aviation. NCAM member businesses and industry participants believe that aviation is the next big thing to take place in this country. NCAM is the powerful voice that continues to promote the SATS vision of a small aircraft transportation system through the efforts of member companies whose technologies, products, and services are integral to the next generation of air travel. This belief in the future of aviation underscores the role of NCAM as advocate for general aviation, continued supporters of the SATS vision, and implementers of current technologies, as well as through its influence, the ability to shape and support opportunities within the private and public sector that will impact the future of aviation. With everything in place for a new industry to emerge, NCAM speaks to the ability of the aviation businesses that are ready to participate in shaping how we travel in this country. Jack Sheehan knows firsthand how NCAM is positioned to make a difference.
Well, when we speak to the transformation of air travel, it means changing the whole way that we look upon the ability to travel. That is, we need to look at how we manage the airspace, the aircraft that will be built to operate in that airspace, and ultimately the ability of the traveling public to go where they want, when they want. Time is the most important resource we have in this information age. And as we look to how we spend our time and where we want to live and where we want to work, we have to have mobility. SATS provides that kind of mobility. From the private sector, we think this unique capability allows us to bring technology into the commercial market far, far faster.
Marion Blakey believes that good things come in small packages and that SATS is the engine for new technologies.
You know, good things do come in small packages, like the Small Aircraft Transportation System. The only thing small about SATS is the size of the aircraft. The system itself, I believe, holds enormous potential for the way we fly as a nation. And if what I've seen so far is any indication, it's going to go well beyond this century. Change is indeed coming down the runway, and it's coming in the shape of a small aircraft. Let me be clear here. I'm not in the business of predicting what the type or mix of aircraft may be in the fleet of the future. And I can't pick the new technologies either. But I do know for certain that we need a system that's flexible enough and has enough capacity to accommodate very light and large commercial jets. Airports large and airports small. Literally, whatever the thinkers of aviation can dream up.
Bob Dunn believes that SATS is growing.
The United States transportation system is in danger of choking up. If it's not weather delays, it's equipment delays, or schedule delays, or just plain old capacity delays, not enough room to land aircraft at a particular airport. And we've got to do something about that. Unless we do something about that, the economy will eventually stagnate and may even decrease. I see SATS as the hope for the future, to keep the transportation system growing, making it responsible to the needs of all the citizens. The SATS project is still growing. We have SATS labs. We have other organizations that want to join. Just the other day, I had a phone call from a gentleman in Ohio who heard about SATS and wants to get it started at his airport. We've talked to people from coast to coast, Oregon, state of Washington, California, certainly Florida, and up in New England. And it's a growing phenomenon. More and more people are interested, and I'm very happy, and we hope that you'll get on the bandwagon with us.
Sandy Monroe sees aviation as the next big thing.
The enabler for the next big thing is situational awareness. And the cockpit of the future is the commercial off-the-shelf solution. This is not a science project, it's business. Whether it's a glass cockpit or a tablet like this, the joint efforts of Michigan SATS, Microsoft, DSI, and Monroe & Associates brought this idea to fruition. But the catalyst was NCAM. I'm a businessman, not a pilot. What I care about is the business case and the use of transferable technology. What you see behind me is a laser horizon system, an affordable laser horizon system that's almost ready for the marketplace. The laser technology was developed by JDI, a Michigan SATS member. If John Kennedy would have had this system in his aircraft, he'd be alive today. The catalyst to make this happen? NCAM.
National correspondent for the Atlantic Monthly, Jim Fallows, also sees an economic opportunity for businesses and related industries focusing on general aviation. In an Atlantic Monthly article entitled Freedom of the Skies, when referring to companies focusing on general aviation, he wrote, "Eventually, these projects should make it possible for many people to travel much of the time the way a very few rich people do now, in greater comfort, without fighting their way to and from crowded hubs, leaving from the small airport closest to their home or office, and flying direct to the small airport closest to their destination. This would be made possible by a product now missing from the vast array of flying devices. Small planes that offer much of the speed and as much as possible of the safety of big airliners at a small fraction of the cost of today's corporate jets." Today, we are at the crossroads of realizing the opportunities associated with aeronautics. Through the dedication and commitment of NCAM, that future can be realized. Your continued participation and support of NCAM will ensure that your voice is heard as your place in the future of air transportation becomes part of tomorrow's history. Call us today and become a member of the National Consortium for Aviation Mobility. It may be the most important call you make.